Well, happy Monday and welcome to class, Advanced Anatomy and Physiology Crew. I look forward to this semester. This is really the coolest content ever, and I think you'll see that always takes a little time to get into a new semester with a new instructor, with a new schedule, perhaps with a new format, at a new university, with a new learning platform. If you've had me before, you'll see that this is very familiar. I'm going to do my best to make this class as predictable as possible. Each week there will be new content and assessments. Sometimes there will be assignments, sometimes there will be other things like that, but there'll be new content every week, and then there'll be assessments at the end of the week. We also will have lecture and lab. This week there will be no lab. I'm going to get you up to speed on lab before we start lab next week. So this week it's just lecture content. The way to do this every week is to take a look at the corresponding week in Canvas. We are in week 1 right now. Take a look at any introduction material. I'll always post a video like this to help you get oriented. And then there will always be an overview for that week, which is essentially the checklist of things to do. So if you take a look at the week 1 overview for us, this is week 1. We're not resting, we're hitting the ground running. You have a couple of things to do. Primary content this week will be to go through the video presentation, which was actually the presentation on chemistry that you heard in Biology 2400, and relearn that. It's detailed, as you know now from having prior anatomical and physiological content. You need chemistry, so we'll make sure that we're all on the same page of chemistry. And in addition, there's a video that I'd like you to watch on pH. We'll focus a lot more on pH this semester than last semester. And last but not least, there's a little bit of a membrane transport review to do, and that's prior content from General A&P. Remember when we talked about things like filtration and osmosis and diffusion and active transport? We really have to have our wits about us with respect to that stuff as we move forward. So the primary content this week will be the chemistry presentation, the pH video, and the membrane transport review sheet. Also, to get you up to speed, I'd like to have you do a couple of other things. There's just a practice quiz to take in Canvas. That's a good idea to take if you haven't been familiar with the Canvas platform, just to get used to dealing with that. This semester, because we're fully online asynchronous, we'll take all of our assessments online, and the sooner you get familiar with that, the better. I would like you to post an introduction video to your classmates, and please take a look. So in week 1, after the overview, there's a separate page for each of the requirements. It tells you a little bit more about due dates and what I expect. But since we are online, I thought it would be a great idea to introduce ourselves to each other. And the best way to do that is to post a video. We'll be doing this a couple times this semester, and I would really strongly recommend creating a YouTube account and then uploading the app to your phone. What this means is that you can record a video from your phone, and we'll do this a couple times this semester. Record the video to your phone, upload it directly to YouTube, and then just share the YouTube link with your classmates. The other way to do it is to take a video, upload it, which requires a massive amount of time on your part, and then have all of us, all 25 of us, download it, which requires a massive amount of time on our end as well. So the way that we can all save time, if you're comfortable, is to use the YouTube link. And I'm not going to stress too much about that. It is really a good tool. So this week, practice quiz, introduction video to your classmates, and then the primary content will be the chemistry presentation, a video on pH, and information on membrane transport. Your quiz at the end of this week, your lecture quiz, will be online, and I'll open it, because we have Labor Day, I'll open it from Saturday to Tuesday. Usually it's Sunday to Monday, but because we have a goofy weekend, I'll open it from Saturday to Tuesday morning, so you can take it anywhere in that window. It will contain 10 questions over all of this week's content, again, which is the chemistry presentation, the pH video, and the membrane transport concepts. Also, again, please make sure you look at the syllabus. So even though this class is online, when you take assessments, you're not allowed to use any resources. This is your brain and the work that you put in that will help you succeed on these quizzes and any assessments. If you're caught using any other resources, that it's essentially cheating, and there's some serious consequences. It makes me uncomfortable to talk about it, but I have a zero tolerance policy for academic dishonesty. You're in training to be nurses, you're in training to take care of each other, you're in training to take care of my mom, and I take this seriously. You need this content, you're paying for this, and it's a huge disservice to yourself, and it's a huge disservice to your future patients if you cheat your way through school. Enough about that. Also, please make sure you check your emails a couple of times a day. I'll be communicating with you frequently. For those of you who have not had me as a professor before, welcome. We'll get to know each other. For those of you who had me for a prior course or on maybe another concurrent course, we'll continue to work together. I try to be the professor that I wanted to have, and I know things online are a little bit different. Beautiful thing about online is that you get to do the work when you're able to do the work. And it's really important at the front end of a semester to decide when during the week that will happen. And I know a lot of you have kids, and as school starts out, there will be kind of that shuffling of time. But I promise you in a couple of weeks, we'll be into a routine. This course is very doable. This course requires a lot of time. That's really the key. If you're unable to put the time in, you're gonna struggle because it's just a lot of material. Nothing that we do this semester will be impossible. There's no chunk of content that will be impossible to learn. It all makes sense. It's all in context. You'll need it for the future. So there are all those things that are happening. It's just a lot of stuff. So again, this week, no lab. We'll get up and running on that. Please make sure that you go on to Canvas, take a look at week 1. Also, you do have electronic access to your textbook immediately. You should have it today. And we need the electronic textbook this semester because we will be using a program within the electronic textbook for all of our lab simulations and all of our quizzes. We'll do online virtual cadaver dissections this semester. We'll do lab experiments online this semester, so you'll need the textbook. In order to make sure you have that, when you're taking a look at Canvas, down on the left side of the column, underneath like syllabus and announcement and modules, please take a look at the McGraw-Hill link. Try to click on the McGraw-Hill link and then follow the pathway. You should have access, electronic access, and you'll need that. And I'll get some things set up in the electronic access, which is called Connect. I'll have a couple of practice quizzes in there so you can familiarize yourself before we start new content in lab next week. All right, so again, to recap, chemistry presentation, pH video presentation, membrane transport review, all in preparation for a quiz, 10-question online quiz that will be open from Saturday to Tuesday. You also have a practice quiz to take if you wish, and you also have a video introduction to your classmates that will be due in a couple of days. Please make sure you read the instructions so that you get credit. Always a good idea to be a little bit specific, be a little bit methodical, read content, read directions, make sure you know what the expectations are. At the end of the semester, all points add up, and it's kind of a shame to lose some of those kind of silly points because you weren't critical in reading or critical in understanding what was expected, or you just rushed through things. Take a look at your emails, please. I'll send everybody an email. I'm excited to get going this semester. For those of you who have had me, welcome back. For those of you who are brand new, you can do this. I promise you, you can do this.